Here are 5 reasons why INFJs struggle in life. Number 1. INFJs are paralyzed while making decisions. Decision paralysis is a common struggle for INFJs, stemming from their deeply reflective and future-oriented mindset. This tendency can manifest in various aspects of life, creating challenges when faced with choices that require concrete and immediate decisions. An example of this can be observed in the process of making career decisions. For instance, an INFJ contemplating a career change might find themselves overwhelmed by the multitude of potential paths and the impact each choice could have on their long-term goals. They may meticulously analyze the pros and cons of each option, envisioning the potential outcomes and consequences. The fear of making the wrong choice, coupled with the desire for a fulfilling and purpose-driven career, can lead to prolonged indecision. In personal relationships, decision paralysis can manifest when INFJs are confronted with significant choices, such as committing to a long-term partnership or deciding to end a relationship that no longer aligns with their values. The intricate balance between their idealistic visions of relationships and the practical considerations of real-world dynamics can create a sense of uncertainty and hesitation. Furthermore, decision paralysis may extend to everyday choices, such as selecting a restaurant for dinner or deciding on a vacation destination. The INFJ's inclination to weigh the potential experiences and outcomes of each option can transform even simple decisions into complex internal debates. Number 2. INFJs often feel misunderstood. Feeling misunderstood is a poignant aspect of an INFJ's experience, characterized by the sense that their complex inner world and unique perspectives often go unrecognized or misinterpreted by others. One example of this struggle occurs in professional environments, where INFJs might find it challenging to convey the depth of their ideas or the intricate connections they perceive between various concepts. For instance, an INFJ working on a creative project may envision a holistic and nuanced approach that integrates diverse elements for a more profound impact. However, when presenting these ideas to a team with different communication styles, the depth of the INFJ's vision might be overlooked or perceived as overly complex. This can lead to frustration for the INFJ, who feels that their innovative and insightful contributions are not fully appreciated. In personal relationships, INFJs may encounter difficulty expressing their emotions or articulating their needs, contributing to a sense of being misunderstood. When faced with conflicts or emotional challenges, they may retreat inward rather than communicate openly. This can create a perception of emotional distance or aloofness, leaving others unaware of the emotional richness and depth that the INFJ experiences internally. Furthermore, INFJ's preference for subtle cues and unspoken communication can lead to instances where their intentions are misconstrued. For example, an INFJ might express care for a friend by providing quiet support or offering meaningful gestures, expecting that the friend will intuitively understand the sentiment. However, if the friend values more explicit communication, they may miss the INFJ's underlying intentions, resulting in a feeling of disconnect. Number 3. INFJs have difficulty saying no. Difficulty saying no is a common challenge for INFJs, stemming from their deep-seated desire to be of service and support to others. This inclination to prioritize the needs of others can lead INFJs into situations where they find it hard to decline requests or set boundaries, often at the expense of their own well-being. For example, imagine an INFJ colleague who is already overloaded with work commitments. A team member approaches them asking for assistance with an additional project. Despite feeling stretched thin, the INFJ might struggle to say no, fearing disappointment or appearing unhelpful. This tendency to take on more than they can handle can result in stress, burnout, and a compromise in the quality of their work. In personal relationships, INFJs may find it challenging to refuse requests for emotional support, even when they are dealing with their struggles. A friend going through a tough time might turn to the INFJ for guidance, and the INFJ, not wanting to let them down, might suppress their own emotional needs to provide comfort. This self-sacrificial pattern can lead to emotional exhaustion and a sense of neglecting their own needs. In social settings, the difficulty in saying no may manifest in the INFJ's attendance at events or gatherings. Even if they feel the need for solitude or downtime, the fear of disappointing others or missing out on important connections may prompt them to agree to social engagements they would rather avoid. This internal conflict between the desire for meaningful connections and the need for personal space can create a constant tension for the INFJ.
If you're loving our content, consider becoming a channel member. As a member, you'll have the power to help choose which video topics we cover, receive exclusive badges to showcase your support, and enjoy priority in our responses to your comments.
Number 4. INFJs are emotionally sensitive. Emotional sensitivity is a hallmark trait of INFJs, shaping their experiences and interactions in profound ways. At the core of this sensitivity lies a heightened awareness of emotions, both their own and those of others, creating a rich tapestry of nuanced feelings that color their daily lives. In personal relationships, INFJs are often deeply attuned to the emotional needs of their loved ones. They may intuitively grasp subtle shifts in mood, unspoken sentiments, and underlying tensions. For example, an INFJ friend may sense when someone is feeling down, even if the person hasn't explicitly shared their emotions. This sensitivity allows the INFJ to offer empathetic support, creating a space for open dialogue and emotional connection. However, this heightened emotional awareness can also present challenges. INFJs may find themselves absorbing the emotions of others, leading to emotional exhaustion. For instance, during a group discussion where conflicting opinions arise, an INFJ might feel the emotional weight of the differing perspectives, making it emotionally taxing for them to navigate such situations without feeling overwhelmed. In professional settings, the INFJ's emotional sensitivity can be both a strength and a vulnerability. They excel in roles that require understanding and connecting with others, such as counseling or mentoring. On the flip side, environments characterized by competitiveness, conflict, or lack of emotional intelligence can be emotionally draining for the INFJ. For example, working in a cutthroat corporate culture that prioritizes individual success over collaboration may challenge the INFJ's commitment to harmonious teamwork and shared emotional well-being. In their own emotional landscape, INFJs often grapple with the intensity of their feelings. The joy derived from aligning with their values and witnessing positive change can be exhilarating. Conversely, facing injustice or witnessing the suffering of others may evoke profound sadness or frustration. This emotional depth is a double-edged sword, offering the INFJ the capacity for profound empathy and insight, while also exposing them to the potential for emotional turbulence. Number 5. INFJs often have idealistic expectations. The INFJ's journey in life is often shaped by their profound idealistic expectations, a lens through which they view the world with a deeply ingrained vision of how things should be. This idealism is not a mere whimsical desire for perfection, but rather a heartfelt belief in the potential for positive transformation in themselves and the world around them. From a young age, the INFJ might carry dreams of creating a harmonious and just society where empathy reigns supreme. This may manifest in their personal relationships, where they envision deep connections founded on mutual understanding and emotional resonance. However, the reality of human complexities and imperfections can be a source of continuous struggle for the INFJ. In their professional pursuits, the INFJ often aspires to make a meaningful impact driven by a vision of contributing to positive change. For instance, an INFJ working in a corporate setting might aim to introduce compassionate leadership practices, hoping to shift the organizational culture towards a more empathetic and supportive environment. In the realm of self-improvement, the INFJ may set lofty goals, envisioning a future version of themselves that embodies their highest ideals. This could involve a commitment to constant self-reflection, seeking personal growth, and aspiring to embody virtues that align with their moral compass. However, the idealistic expectations of the INFJ can become a double-edged sword. When confronted with the harsh realities of human nature, societal challenges, or personal limitations, the dissonance between their ideals and the actualities of life can lead to profound disillusionment. This disillusionment may manifest as a sense of helplessness or frustration, as the INFJ grapples with the stark contrast between their vision for a better world and the complexities of reality. These videos will be really helpful for you.